Love a Beautiful Force was a true connection of the jazz orchestra and its influences and the classical orchestras and its influences. And the way, to me, the approach that Terrell Stafford and Vince Mendoza had in this movement was pure magic. I think that the students gain so much seeing the passion that goes behind the music.
Occasionally, Temple will put together these big jazz classical collaborations between the jazz band and the symphony orchestra. But this one seemed to be very different because the arranger himself was actually conducting, and the composer, there, is always a very different experience.
Vince has this uncanny sense to spend time to study the artist he's writing for, so whatever he writes really brings out the strength of the artist. And it's very unusual for colleges to do this, and especially to have such an artist of his magnitude come for a whole week. He gave master classes and workshops, got to know the students and faculty on a whole new level. It adds a different perspective to the music. It adds a different layer of education to what students can get at this college. I came away learning more about my students than I ever knew.
It's quite an experience for them to have even before they get out of college. That probably was, to me, the most fantastic thing about the entire recording was these two elements, jazz and classical music, coming together to bond and learn from each other.
Recording it was a really interesting experience and a big learning experience for how to act in a recording session, especially with that many people. Terrell and Dick are two of the greatest musicians alive right now, and the way that they approach, themselves as soloists. What if I was in that position doing something in the future? How they acted and just watching and listening to the way that they handled the different situations and challenges of the piece. There was a lot to learn from that.
To be, side by side with these masters is a great inspiration. I was super excited when I saw the email saying, Azar, you are Grammy nominated recording artist. I was like, wow, that's cool.
I got an email saying hey, you're a Grammy nominated artist. I'm like, oh, whoa, really? That's so cool. Definitely gonna put that on my resume.
There's so much that this school does, that it's been amazing. It's been so awesome, getting to do all this stuff, experiencing things that if I had stayed in California, I went to a school in California, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff.
The faculty is just so amazing, and I wouldn't trade my teachers for anything, and they've helped me grow so much as a person and as a musician, and they have real performance experience that a lot of universities don't necessarily have. For me, that was the biggest draw to coming to Temple, and now to have that come to fruition with a Grammy nomination is really pretty special.
To turn around and, to see, some of these students you've taught for 4 years, and to see you, making music with them as opposed to just leading them through music. It's a beautiful thing.
For the team of students, I want to say that this is just the start of what you can do. And I feel just as moved and honored as the students were that were on this recording. So it's a blessing to play such great music.